All right, welcome back. So it's time to finish off this emoji project. We're almost there, just a couple of little things. But don't worry, we've got another project that we're going to build after this. What I'm thinking of doing is maybe something that calls an API and does something, does something like that. I'm thinking, when I originally was thinking about this, I think I found an API to do like synonyms. So you could type in a word and then you could hit the magic key and it'll go find synonyms from some online synonym thing and then give you a list of synonyms that you can replace with. But that's for next time. But for now, let's finish this off. So this all works, and we had this from last time, and I'll evaluate these as we go through. But we had our emoji list, and we would type in things here, and this actually should be new. Save that, reevaluate it so they're all the same. And then what we saw is we could do an emoji replace by inserting, where we would kill the text, the colon, whatever colon, and then insert the emoji. And then we also have this version here where we overlaid it using the text property, so it didn't actually get rid of what was there, it just displayed it differently. And we talked about the use cases for how to for why we would use one version or the other in previous videos. And then last time we just saw how we could easily make a mode just using define minor mode. So what we're going to do today are two things. One is we're going to change it so our mode can use either of the techniques. And we're also going to clean up making the variables for these. So let's first make this work with either of the techniques. Now the way we do that, and I already made a change here. You'll notice that I changed this to func and this to func, so this is not complete, but we'll get to it. I just messed up on the recording, so I actually already made this video, messed it up, and now have to redo it, but forgot to take out those two words. These used to just be emoji replace insert. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to control which method we use, and the way we're going to do this is by assigning a variable to a function. So instead of calling emoji replace insert, or rather not calling, but instead of passing emoji replace insert into the hook, we're going to make a variable called func, and the func is for function, which is going to store which function we want to use. So for example, what we can do is we can say, let's make a variable f, and let's make this the function 1 plus. So now what we can do here is, now if we evaluate f, we'll see, oh, it's the 1 plus function. Now you can't just do f of 5 and have it do 6. That doesn't work. In this context, we have to do the function call of f on 5, and notice that that runs that function and gets it on 6, but it does show that you essentially have assigned the function 1 plus into the variable f. So that's the technique we're going to use. I think there's also something called fset. Let's do it with the print instead. So it's a different function. And I think if we use fset, we might just be able to do... No, we still have to use the fun call. But now it works. But anyway, so we can just make a variable. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this with a let block. And before that, we're going to need a control variable. And that's going to be the variable that we're going to use that'll control which way we want, do we want to use one or the other? And let's call that emoji list by insert, and let's make that true by default. Save it, execute it. So if emoji list by insert is true, we're going to then do emoji replace insert, this version. Otherwise, we're going to do emoji replace overlay. So now we can put in the code. So it's just a let block. We're going to say function is going to be, well, if emoji replace by insert, if it's true, if that's true, we're going to use emoji replace insert. Otherwise, we're going to use emoji replace overlay. close that, close that, close that, and then close the whole Megillah down there. And that's pretty much it. And that'll do it. That's all. I'm not going to run through all the tests for this because we'd have to start it, stop it, change the variable, start it, stop it. We did that all before. And this way we'll just keep the video kind of brief. And that's because I want to show you one other thing. But this is pretty much it. Now we have this mode. We can set the variable, etc. And if we make, if we set this up by saying the emoji list by insert is true, we'll do this, but if not, we'll do it the other way. Now, what I want to show you is there are other ways we can do variables as well. And one of those ways, we saw that we could use def var. And def var is different than setq, because notice that we give it an initial value and a doc string, and that let us, if we have the doc string, so and where are we with that? So if we have a symbol, initial value, and doc string, so if we say this is, P to insert, nil to overlay, and now if we run this and something's wrong here, I got to close my string. So now if we describe the variable emoji list by insert, it gives us the doc string, and that's kind of cool. And that gives us a little bit of help. But what we can actually do to make this even better is if we can do a def custom. And what def custom does, it makes it a customizable variable. So it's pretty much the same thing. Def custom, the name of the variable, the initial value, and then we give it the doc string. So let's save this and let's execute this. But the difference here is we can now customize this. Now, I don't know if this gets written until we customize it, but let's see. If I go into my .emacs folder, into my init.l, and we go into here, we don't see, we don't see it. But what I can do here is I can now customize variable, or I can do this just with the customize interface. And I can customize emoji list by insert, and notice that now I can use my, this interface that you might be familiar with Emacs for setting variables. And what we can even do here, okay, the state is standard, it's T, I can revert it, I can do whatever, but what I can also do is I can save it. And it's inactive for some of this. So I guess we can change this here to nil. And now that it's nil, I can apply and save it. I can quit here, and now let's go into, sorry, not config, init.l. And, oh, here we go. Emoji list by insert is now nil. So now let's do that again. Customize variable, emoji list insert. Erase the customization. It makes it back to that. I can't actually save it. Let's actually manually set it there so I can save it. I haven't played with this that much, but now let's go back to that file. And can't spell. But now emoji list by insert is T, is true. And so notice that this lets it, this is kind of more of like a real Emacs package in that it's legit, it's saved, it's like it's in my config. And I would do the same thing here, def custom emoji list. This is the initial value. And my doc string was list of emojis that can be replaced, whatever. And I can do the same. Customize variable, customize my emoji list, and it's right there and I can change it. And if I change it in some way, shape, or form, let's get rid of that. Let's apply and save it. Let's quit. And now let's go back to emacs.init.el. And we have our emoji list in our config file. So that's the other really cool thing here, is using these def customs. So that's really all what I wanted to show you today, is just how to clean this up a little bit, how to use this def custom. And that's actually like a legit package. All you have to do is, like, if you load Emacs from scratch, you can just do load file and then specify, in this case, emoji replace.el, and it will load all of this and it'll be all set up, and then you can do emoji replace mode to start the mode. So the only thing that's remaining to do, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do this or not, because if I do it, I have to first figure it out. I'm sure it's not going to be particularly hard, but how can I make this so that it's like on a Git repository somewhere, and you can install it with like a straight use package or something like that. So maybe I'll figure that out, and if I figure that out, I'll make a video for it. But that's it. Mode for emoji. So I hope you enjoyed it. That's it for today. And next time we will either do the how do we install it with Git, with like straight use package or something, or maybe we'll just do move on to our next project, which will probably be like a thesaurus type mode. All right. So that's it. Take care. Bye bye.